Hey guys, I want to welcome you to a Raid Shadow Legends video. Raid Shadow Legends is arguably one of the biggest gacha games today. It's a visually stunning RPG that works across both PC and mobile. It has tons of heroes to collect and even more content to battle through. Today, we're going to do an account overview, or in this instance, a showcase. That being my own account. I've actually been playing this game for about 3 years now. So what really got me into this game really was the heroes, and just having to go through the process of collecting them, and just I guess that's what drove me to be able to get these champions, and just the feeling of collecting them all. Uh, and I guess the best way I can explain it is it's kind of like a timeline series, or a progression in a sense, right? So you start off with your main hero, whichever four one of the four that you pick, and um, it gives you a step by step process in order to kind of progress through the campaign, right? And as you progress through the campaign, you figure out you need to do different areas of the game in order to progress even more. And so that's kind of how the game draws you in, and it does such a great job at it that it makes you keep wanting to come back. Now, the whole gotcha aspect of it is having to come back and being resourceful, right? So the first thing you do is obviously set your goals, and go through your quests and your missions, and and work through the quests as they come along, and you'll learn how to do that as you first start the game, and as well as the missions. It gives you quite a few to do early on, eventually getting Arbiter, and then finally getting Ramontu at this point in time. But overall, it gives you a good guideline as far as like, just first starting out. But there's other resources out there as well, such as YouTube and Twitch, um, where you can find even more help once you start getting past those levels. Um, this game, for me, um, I feel like there's tons of rules that they don't really tell you about, and the main one that I strongly advise is just being resource management, resourceful, right? So resource management, and working along the lines of time frames, and setting yourself goals, and knowing that even though your goal may be long term, you're taking every step to get there. It's not a leap in the sense, because only the way this game is designed, it's only going to draw you in to make you want to spend money, right? And and if you don't spend money, you're going to be spending a lot of time. Now, if you don't have either, then this game probably isn't for you. Um, and so yeah, so back to the showcase and how I've progressed in my game and how I drew in. Of course, I started off working in campaign and working along these guys, all the way down, and they have different levels of difficulties all the way up to nightmare. Now, what they don't tell you is the progression of doing campaign and these dungeons simultaneously, right? Now, there's different things that you need to look out for when you're doing all this stuff, and then one of the biggest ones is obviously energy. Along the ways, they give you some gems, and then of course you'll gain silver as well. There's other things in the game as well as keys, but that you won't have to worry about for a while. Now, the biggest thing, like I can tell you, is just set yourself small goals throughout the day. Just being able to complete the daily quest, like that's a minimal goal, just a basic number one minimal goal. Just finish my daily quest. Um, Eventually, you'll be able to do your dailies and your advanced quests coincidingly, and just work along those ways. Uh, and That's the bare minimum. They throw things at you like events and tournaments that you can also set yourself goals for, and the more resourceful you are with your resources, the better off you'll be. Um, Especially when you're going into some of these tournaments that get pretty heavy, when you're competing against other players. Now, of course, this game not only has tournaments to compete against, you also have areas such as arena where you get to face another player, so PvP, right? And so you have your PvP, and then you have your PvE, which is just general content. Um, that's a basic breakdown, but just to give you an idea of what an endgame account is and what the whole showcase is I've been playing for maybe just a little bit over 3 years, and I have now completed what was once called the Great Hall and is now actually called an affinity bonus. They came out with this new thing called an area bonus, which I kind of described earlier as PVE content. Potion Keeps, Ice Golem, Fire Knight, Dragon's Lair, Spider, Hydra, and Demon Lord. Now, Demon Lord and Hydra are both clan bosses, which, again, is just a progressionary stage. I think that's as much as I can get into at the moment, but just a general idea here is basically all of the beautiful gold that I have in my account. There are other accounts that have much more, and there is also um, other champions. As you progress, you start off with the lower commons, you have the uncommons, you have your rares, you have your epics, and then of course your legendaries, your epics, and then your legendaries. And they came out with a new thing recently, which is a mythical champion. Uh, Excuse me. Here we are. So a mythical champion, and these are basically the top tier champions in the game. Um, Now, progressionary, just as everything else, you want to start off and work your way up. As you can see, you eventually keep progressing up, and you'll get there one day, as I did. So, good luck to you all. Hope you have a beautiful day, and thanks for stopping by.